Hi, welcome to our January Asana practice. This is our practice to warm up for our Yoga Nidra meditation. It's nice and slow and intended to move the breath and the body into a place where you'll be able to relax and truly make the most of your Yoga Nidra practice. Our theme this month is intentions. And there's so many times when we're running on autopilot, almost like we have little apps running in our mind. And they can be really helpful. Sometimes those apps are reminding us just how to do simple things so that we don't have to think about them, like putting one foot in front of the other when we walk, going up the stairs, riding a bike, getting on that ski slope for the first time, or getting in our car and driving to work. We know the way. And so it's great. It helps us in so many ways. But there's also times when we get kind of set with an app and we go through life a little bit on autopilot and we really don't allow ourselves to be present in this moment, to really enjoy the moment in its fullest. We kind of autopilot our way through to the next thing. So as you go through these slow movements today, I invite you to just imagine that this is the first time that you have experienced this body. Maybe it's the body of a dear, dear friend. So you can have no assumptions about it. You need to explore it as you move, feel the motions, and you need to treat it with love, just like you would the body of a good friend. No ego is associated with it. It's not our body. We're simply exploring it, trying it on for size. So I invite you to kind of have that curious nature as you go through these seemingly simple movements. It adds so much to the practice. So let's go ahead and start by coming to a standing position, putting the feet together, close enough together so that you can feel steady, but maybe even close the eyes and feel balanced. Inhaling, slowly bring the arms overhead, feel the movement. Interlace the fingers and flip the palms towards the ceiling, really pressing with the wrist towards the sky. Drop the shoulders from the ears. Feel the ears midway between the arms, if that's in your practice. Root down through all four corners of the feet, and just a slight tilt of the pubic bone so that it comes behind the belly button a little bit. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, let's half moon to the right, planting firmly in the little toe side of the left foot, opening up that left side body, feeling the ribs as they gently spread apart with each inhale. And as they relax with each exhale. Maybe finding a muscle in this body that you haven't noticed. Letting the knees be soft. Feeling the breath fill the lungs. And gently exhale. And letting the breaths begin to elongate. And as the next inhale comes by, use it to come back up, exhaling to the left, planting the big or the little toe side of the right foot, head midway between the arms, shoulders, nice and grounding. Soften your face. Feeling the bindu point of the pose in the belly. Everything below that point is grounding to the earth, and everything above it is extending. Feeling into the right waist, see if you can come out a little more from the big bone of the hips. And inhaling up. As you exhale, swan dive your arms down as you come into a forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. And lift your toes up off the mat.
Rock the hips over the heels. Bend the knees as much or as little as you need. Let them be soft no matter what. Try to set your toes down one by one, starting at the little toe and moving to the big toe. Just being curious, making the slow motion of no with the head and of yes. Find a still spot, let the head just hang. As you inhale, come to a halfway lift. Bring the hips over the heels. Stretch long in the spine, let the neck follow the trajectory of the spine. And as you exhale, deeply fold, taking your belly button to the spine. And as you inhale, slightly bend the knees as you reverse swan dive the arms all the way up, bringing palms to touch overhead. Letting your gaze stay towards the sky, hugging the top of the arm bones into the armpits. Noticing the commentary of the mind, anything that it's telling you about the movements of the body, and just notice it. Try to focus more on the sensations of the body without judgment. And as you exhale, draw your hands to heart. I'm going to turn, but you don't need to, but I want you to be able to see what I'm doing from the side. So standing towards the front of the mat, take a long step back with the right foot, setting that right foot down like you would for warrior one. So it's at a 45-degree angle or so. That front heel is intersecting about, well, let's say arch or heel just on the back foot. The more tight your hips are, the more you're going to want that back foot a little more towards the outside of your mat. Take your hands on your hips and take this left hip, kind of roll it back so you square your hips off with the front of the mat. Create some space between each of the vertebrae. And as you exhale, just slowly come down halfway. Feel that sensation like you had with the halfway lift. Again, squaring the hips off with the front of the mat and the floor. Take the left hand, place it palm up on the small of your back, and take your right fingertips to the floor like little spider legs. Walk the fingertips as far as you can in front of you, keeping the hips square. As you inhale, use your breath to fill your lungs as you slowly rise. And at the top of that inhale, bring elbows and shoulders behind you, lift the heart. Exhale, slowly come back to the mat. At the bottom of the exhale, let yourself linger in the silence between the breaths. And when the inhale feels like it really needs to come, go ahead and begin to lift. Open the heart at the top and exhale. Again, pausing at the bottom, letting yourself linger here until the breath spontaneously begins on its own. And when it does, slowly moving. And we'll do this twice more on this side. Open at the top and exhale. Pausing in silence. Letting your breath lift you up. And emptying the belly first as you come forward in your fold. Pause here. Come halfway up. Bring your arms straight out like you're going to shake someone's hand. Pull the arms into the armpits. Inhale all the way up. And bring your arm back down by your side. Bring both hands down, and we're just going to switch the legs. So we're going to bring that left leg back, right foot forward. Find your stance. Again, the front heel is going to intersect about the arch of the back foot, maybe heel if your hips are tight. Hand on the hips, bring your hips parallel with the front of the mat. kind of take that left leg and twirl it to the inside. As you exhale, come down halfway, feeling the same sensation of a halfway lift. Take the right palm to your back, palm up, and bring your left arm straight out in front of you, down to the mat, resting on spider fingers. 4 breaths on this side, the same as we did before. Use an inhale to fill the chest as you slowly rise. Open the heart, elbows and shoulders back. And exhale, empty the belly and come down to the earth. Linger here until the inhale spontaneously. Now we'll move through these next 3 at your own pace in silence. Let's do one more. And when you come down this time, go ahead and bring both hands to the mat, step that right foot back, and let's just gently fold back into child's pose. Rest your forehead on the mat. Let's take time, press your hips down towards your heels. Take a few breaths here. As you inhale, feel the inhale come and almost come up under your armpits like they're parasails, feeling them gently lift. And as you exhale, feel them relax towards the earth. Come up on your spider fingers again. Center the ears between the arms. Walk your hands off your mat to the left. Bring your heart over your left knee as much as you can. Pressing into the right fingertips, press your right sit bone down towards your heels. Lift up your right arm and thread it under your left, bringing your left temple to the mat. Bring the left hand straight towards the ceiling. Turn the palm behind you and then wrap the back of the left hand around the right waist. Shrug the left shoulder back. Let's take a few breaths here. Noticing how this pose feels on this body of your dear, dear friend. Breathing into it with love and light. One more breath here. Start to come out of the pose by bringing that left arm up and back down onto spider fingers. Unthread the right arm. Exhale, bring your hands back to center. Press the sit bones down over the heels. Use the next inhale to create length in the spine. And then as you exhale, bring your heart over the right knee. Pressing into the left fingertips to bring the left sit bone down. And as you're ready, take the left arm and thread it underneath the right, setting your left temple on the mat. And take some time when you go through that motion to shrug that left shoulder down so that it's in its normal position and not kind of jammed up by the ears. And then when you're ready, take that right arm overhead, turn the palm behind you, and wrap the back of the right hand around the left waist, shrugging the right shoulder back. And then just allow yourself to breathe. Let go of form and feel the movement of breath. Explore the pose with the breath. One more breath here. We'll exit the pose by bringing that right arm straight up and then down to the mat onto the fingertips. Unthread the left arm. Use an exhale to come center. And then go ahead and just planting your hands on the mat, slowly come forward, kind of like you're slithering like a snake. And then we're going to go ahead and just turn over onto the back. So gently find your way there. You might pull your knees in for a minute once you get there. You can rock from side to side. You can rock back and forth. You can make circles with the hips. But just enjoy any movements for a minute that feel good to your body. It's always interesting to try to tune into what the body's asking for, not what the mind is suggesting. And if it feels good to just stay still, you can. And then when you're ready, extend both legs long on the mat and reach your arms straight overhead. Get as long as you can from heels to fingertips. Enjoy a couple breaths here. Feeling the height of this borrowed body. And then slide the soles of your feet together, bringing your knees up towards the hips a little bit for a supine Baddha Konasana. Let the knees fall to the sides. And then go ahead and bend your elbows, cupping each elbow in a palm. Rest shoulders and elbows firmly on the floor. If they're not resting in a comfortable position, you can put a blanket or something under them. And let's breathe up and down the side bodies. As you inhale, take a deep breath, and as you do, bow the left ribs out and create space between the left armpit and hip. And as you exhale, let it all go. Alternating, breathe the next time on the right side body, pressing out the ribs, creating space between hips and armpit. And as you exhale, let it go. Continue this breath pattern, moving from side to side. With each inhale, breathing in vitality, letting that vitality balloon into the side body, refreshing, vibrant. And with each exhale, let go of things that you no longer need. One more breath cycle to each side, making sure you do an equal number to left and right. And when you have, let go of the crossing of the arms, bring the hands down and use them to gently press your knees back together. And then bring the feet mat distance apart. Let your arms rest down along your sides. Going to do a little movement for the sacrum. So lift your buttocks off the mat just an inch or two. They just need to hover. We're going to take the right knee, and in a minute, we're going to take it down and across as though we're going to touch that right knee to the left little toe. So take a nice deep inhale and create some length in the body. And then as you exhale, take that right knee over. The left knee's not going to move, but that right knee is going to move over and down. Inhale, slowly bring that right leg back up. As you exhale, let's go to the left. Take that left knee over and across to touch the right little toe. Right leg stays right where it's at. Inhale, bring it back up. And let's do a couple more to either side. Nice and slow, marrying breath and movement. One more to both the left and the right. And when you've done an equal number, go ahead and slowly bring the hips down and let the knees fall together. Take a couple breaths here. And then bring your legs down the mat again. Arms are along the sides. We're going to do one little more small SI joint movement here. Flex your feet like you're standing, and we're going to press with the heel. So we're going to take a nice deep inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to press the right heel away from us towards the end of the mat. And as you do that, that right leg's going to feel like it gets longer, and the left leg's going to feel shorter. And as you inhale, let the leg relax. On the next exhale, press the left heel away, almost like you're pressing a gas pedal underneath you. And then inhale, relax. A couple more times either side. Press with the right heel. Inhale, let it go. And slowly press with that left heel, pressing against an imaginary resisting force there. And let it go one more time to the right and the left. You'll notice I switched which side I started with, right and left, partly just because we're trying to get out of our apps, and I didn't want anyone to make assumptions, because we do, and let it go. So sometimes it's nice to just change up how you're doing things a little bit, get out of the rote pattern. And go ahead and let the feet just fall to the outside. Come to a really comfortable Shavasana. And if you're going to start your Yoga Nidra meditation next, you can go ahead and try to keep a nice, calm sense of inner relaxation while you get yourself set up and start the recording. Namaste.